Now the bottom half talents are talents that are taking place inside. Think and do, green and orange, think and do. So they're internally generated, and the more talents you have on that bottom half, the more you get energy around things that you can do, being in your head thinking if they're green talents, or action and seeing things getting accomplished. But it's not necessarily interacting with others, it's interacting with yourself inside. So when we look at the green, there's a whole range of thinking and processing. There's the forward thinking talents, there's the high level talents, there's the kind of historical talents that we have, there's the thinking out of the box talents, there's the high detail precision talents, there's the risk aversion and risk management talent, then there's the really, really deep thinking talent, getting to first cause and fundamental issues. There's the puzzle making talent. So all of these have to do with that green side of the equation. There's that absorption, just give me more stuff, and becoming subject matter expert or even geeky around certain topics. And there's the curiosity. So that's kind of a broad brush range of the different kinds of thinking talents, all internal, all about input. And then there's the get or done talents, and there's the quick action, sense of urgency talents. There's the get it over the goal line, accomplishment talent. There's the structure, bringing order to chaos. There's the laser beam, targeted talent. There's the flexible, in the moment, dealing with chaos and problems. There's the helping fix broken things and make them whole again. There's that legacy, let's leave a mark talent and make a huge difference. And then there's the confidence, the internal confidence, internal compass talent. So that gives you some of the language around what's in that orange. Now, another piece to this as well is whether there's more talents on the right side or the left side. So if you've got 3 or more talents below, then what that means is you get more energy functioning in that range. I have 4 talents in that area. And a quick little story, Nathan, my son, participated with me in one of the workshops I gave. He's got 3 talents in the blue range. So 3 in the blue, and he loves to connect and talk and dialogue with people. And so you can see where that one-on-one connection is highly energizing for him. I have 3 talents in the green. So we finished a workshop, we get in the car to drive, and I just go silent. I just start thinking in my head and walking through, just recuperating. That's a recovery zone. So that's an important thing to know, that you recover, you get energy out of the areas that you have most of your talents in. And so if you know how to move into that mode, then that's a way for you to restore energy. Nathan says to Dad, why do you go from engaged Dad in the workshop to boring Dad in the car? And so I thought about it, and I said, well, I've got 1 blue talent, and I spent that blue talent with that group. So when I got in the car, I just my recovery is to get in my head and think and process and think about what's next, and that's relaxing for me. Now, knowing how to shift the energy, having strategic, achiever, and relator in my top 5, I could set a new goal. And the new goal, of course, was to include my son. So Nathan all day long had to be quiet or behind the scenes and not interacting with the people participating. So he didn't get to use any of those blue talents throughout the day. So what do you think he wanted to do when he got in the car? He saw all this stuff happening. He's got ideation as a talent, so creative. He wanted to talk. Seeing Dad completely silent, he didn't know how to read that. He didn't know if I was angry, frustrated, whatever it was. He didn't know if he did something. It was none of that. And so those blue talents can sometimes read beyond because they're very sensitive and in tune to vibe. And so he had the language to say, why do you go from engaged dad to boring dad? So being able to switch to a new goal, strategic, connect with my son, starting a conversation, achiever, relator, kind of building. And so I started asking questions. I have learner, curiosity, talent. So Nathan, what did you see during the workshop? And so we were both able to recharge and re-energize and connect by understanding what we call the rules of engagement. To when it doesn't seem to be connecting or working, or you're at odds, there's language you can use through the talents to help reconnect. Now, the more talents on the right-hand side, the magenta and orange, the more you tend to be what we call type A, driver, hard driving, overcoming obstacles, pushing. The more talents on the left-hand side, the more you tend to be reflective and advisory. So I've got 4 of my talents on the left-hand side. So I tend to be kind of that advisor, coach, consultant type of role. So that comes natural for me to listen, process, and then engage in dialogue to help in a what you might call a Socratic model or a dialectical model of helping solve problems for people. I like that back and forth and that intellectual stimulation. So that gives you a little bit of idea on the bottom half, the energy in the right, the energy in the left. Gives you a little overview of looking at the CoreKey through language quadrants, and then we'll shift into looking at the specific talents, and we'll just do one quadrant at a time walking through it.